Happy Thursday, fifth graders. Let's look at our idioms. So we have all these idioms related to personality traits and people. So if somebody goes against the grain, this means that they do something opposite of what is generally accepted or practiced. A black sheep is a person who has done something bad that brings embarrassment or shame to his or her family. If someone is down to earth, they're decent, simple, realistic, practical, and straightforward, and sensible. Today's idiom is social butterfly. Social butterfly. Literally, we have butterflies. And this symbol, icon, as you might know, is the symbol or logo for Instagram. So, the social media has really risen in the last several years. So to be social means figuratively to be friendly with others. If you're a social person, you like to be with others, you like to chit chat, you like to spend time with others. So a social butterfly is someone who enjoys being around people and is friendly with everyone. A person who enjoys mingling with other people at social events. So if there's a party, a social butterfly likes to mingle, meaning they'll go from group to group or person to person to chat, say hello, and engage. So if you think about a butterfly, an actual butterfly, butterflies kind of flit around. They go from plant to plant, flower to flower. So it's kind of this idea as well, where the person is kind of flitting around. They go from person to person, and they're just, they like being friendly and chit-chatting, okay? So my sister is a social butterfly and talks to everyone. I prefer to just keep to myself or just talk to one good friend. We're working on the suffix "ik." We have, which means like or related to. Artistic means relating to art or culture, good at painting, drawing, or producing beautiful things. Classic, having all the features that are typical or expected of a particular thing or situation. A classic example, a classic mistake. If something is classic, it's also admired by many people and having a value that has continued for a long time. So classic movie, Star Wars is a classic movie, Harry Potter is a classic book series and will be valued and read for many, many years to come. Ironic. An ironic situation is one that is unusual or amusing because something strange happens or is the opposite of what is expected or the opposite of what is expected happens or is true. Using words that are the opposite of what you really mean, often in a joking way, is also ironic. So let's say another example of this is sometimes a car rushes and goes fast and cuts people off. And what's ironic is we all get to the light at the same time, and they weren't really going that much faster, and we're behaving in a dangerous manner. Okay, so now don't get confused. This word is iconic. Iconic looks like ironic. But you might know icon, right? There are a lot of icons on our laptop, a lot of symbols that represent Google or Google Chrome, or in Google Classroom we have, or when you open up the waffle, there are a bunch of icons that represent Gmail, Google Classroom, Google Keep. So thinking about that, thinking about those little icons. If something's iconic, okay, what does this mean? Nike is an iconic brand name in the sports world. Sentence number 2, another example. J.K. Rowling is an iconic writer of the fantasy genre. What does iconic mean? Of, relating to, or having the characteristics of an icon, right? Related to or like an icon. If something is iconic, it's widely recognized and well established. If something is iconic, it's widely known and acknowledged, especially for distinctive excellence. So it's something well known, it's popular, A person can be iconic, like J.K. Rowling, or maybe a celebrity or an athlete, or a brand can be iconic. Now, oops, what happened here? Let me get rid of that. Something happened with my document. So, we're working on the Greek root ject, which means throw. And so we have all these ject words, subject, the noun. So sometimes we're learning, I want to really talk about part of speech. So as we're learning vocab in Stargirl, we're working on that graphic organizer that has part of speech. So subject, the part of speech, it has two parts of speech. It can be a noun. So it's the thing that you're talking about, your topic. As a verb, the part of speech called a verb, an action word, it's subject, to force a country or group of people to be ruled by you. Reject, the part of speech here, is verb, to refuse to accept, believe in, or agree with something, to not choose someone for a job, team, etc. And if you're feeling dejected, the part of speech here is adjective. It's describing a person. If someone's dejected, they're unhappy, disappointed, or sad. Now, object, just like subject, has two parts of speech. In the noun form, it's a solid thing that you can hold, touch, or see, but that is not alive. So here's the noun version, like a pencil, right? A cup, that's an object. Okay, anything that's solid and doesn't move, it's not alive. Anything, it would be what we consider a thing. The small metal object is used to hook things together. Now, when it's a verb, part of speech, verb, we say object, kind of like subject, object. To object to something means to feel or say that you oppose or disapprove of something. So like this symbol here, stop bullying. I object to bullying and will help defend anyone who needs an upstander. So, if you object to something, then you say no, you oppose it. Okay? So, sometimes these words, these homographs, have a different part of speech, a noun or a verb. Okay? And sometimes it's pronounced differently. So, object and then object. And we learned iconic and we learned social butterfly. Great job, 5th graders.